So you think you're being polite and they think you're being rude. Now, what if I told you that you're not cold necessarily? You don't mean to be disrespectful in conversation and you're not bad with people per se. However, in conversation with others, you may be coming across as a bit awkward, and I bet you've never been told the difference. Somewhere right now, someone has already decided you're aloof. You come across as uninterested and even socially awkward or hard to connect with. But there are three small, unconscious habits that are broadcasting a message about you that you never meant to send. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what those habits are, the research behind why your social awkwardness makes people think you come across as rude, and one concrete fix you can start using today. I'm Aarti Seaton, founder of the Duchess Academy. We teach status signal behavior to female professional sophisticates who know that their brilliance alone doesn't open doors. Their signals do. Using our 4-signal framework in our program, the Duchess Method, we give you the strategy to stop being overlooked and get chosen over your competition and paid more than you ever dreamed so you can live the life you deserve. So over the weekend, I was talking to a friend, and the time on the clock was approximately 12:50 p.m. And I knew that she had an appointment at 1 p.m. So to be polite, I started wrapping up the conversation. I said, "Okay, let's pick this up later. I know you've got to run." She stopped me and she said, "Wait, are you trying to get rid of me?" And I said, "No, not at all. I know you have an appointment and I'm sensitive to that. I don't want you to be late." You see, I was trying to protect her time, but that's not how she felt. In that moment, she felt dismissed. And that's the moment when I realized that what I meant, what I intended, was not what she received. There were two different messages going on. Let me know if that's ever happened to you. Now, intention is a message or an action that you wanted to have happen. A signal is what the other person actually receives from you. And here's the part that almost nobody tells you. People don't respond to what you intended, right? They are going to respond to the signal that they receive from you. In the example I gave you earlier, she did not see me as trying to protect her time. She saw me as trying to cut her off and perhaps being rude or dismissive of her thoughts. People, when speaking to you, they cannot see your good intentions, no matter how good they are. However, they're going to respond to the signal that you send with your body language, your intonation, the way you speak to people, etc. Because that's the only thing they actually have access to. Now, the research on first impressions shows people form judgments about your competence and trustworthiness in under 100 milliseconds, before you've said a single word. Which means the gap between the two isn't a flaw, it's a craft issue, and this craft can be learned. So let's name 3 of the most common socially awkward cues you're sending out. Not to make you feel bad, but to make you aware so you can fix it. Now, the first one is what I like to call the flat face. Normally, especially if you're running to and fro, you're trying to get to that appointment, or maybe you're just nervous, but your resting face can be off-putting. Sometimes in the hustle and bustle of life, you forget to put a small smile on your face. Or your face just doesn't move much when you're overwhelmed or focused or just processing things. Now, you're not doing anything bad on purpose, but here's what all of that actually signals. Your face is the fastest form of communication a human being has, faster than words. When yours doesn't emote or have a pleasant resting mode, people don't read neutral. There's no such thing as neutral to the person watching you. They're going to fill that blank in themselves. Now, they may fill it with judgment, disapproval, or any other characteristic that they can pull from just the way you look, because those are the signals that make sense for a face that isn't giving them anything back. And this compounds. Now, the first time someone reads you as cold, they will adjust. They get a little more careful around you, a little more formal. They stop telling you the inside jokes in the office, the vulnerable update in their lives, the half-formed idea that they had at 2 a.m. in the morning that they were super excited about, because your face never told them that it was safe to. Months later, you're the woman people describe as hard to read or intimidating, and you never once decided to be either of those things. Your face decided that for you, and in rooms you weren't even aware you were being judged in. Now, the second cue that you could be sending out is what I like to call the shortcut. Now, this one has more nuance in it. Let's say someone is mid-story as they're talking to you, and in your effort to be efficient, or perhaps you're just super excited and you want to add your own point, you jump in and say, yeah, so anyway, or yeah, so I went, or yeah, you know what I think? And you do all of these things because you think you're keeping the conversation moving. But here's what that actually signals. Every time you cut someone off mid-thought, you're communicating a hierarchy, whether you mean to or not. You're telling them without saying it out loud that your point matters more than the rest of theirs, and people really feel that. They might not name it in the moment, but they register it mentally. It's the same reason being interrupted in a meeting stings even when the interruption is helpful. It's not really about the words, it's about whose voice got to finish their sentence or thought first. And again, this compounds. Once someone learns that talking to you means getting cut off, they start editing themselves before they even speak to you. They give you the short version of the story or the quick version of that story, the version that doesn't risk being interrupted, which means you stop getting the real story, the real feedback, the real relationship, and you never know it's happening because it looks like people just naturally talk to you in short headlines. Now, here's the fix, and it costs you about 2 seconds. Before you pivot to your point in conversation, I want you to affirm their point first. For example, you could say something like, "Thanks so much for explaining that. I really appreciate it." Or you can connect it to something that happened to you. "You know what? That actually happened to me too, and it happened in this way." Before you move into your story. That 2-second beat is the difference between them feeling heard or them feeling steamrolled. And a little side note about little comments like, "Yeah, anyway," or "Yeah," I want you to try to drop the reflexive "yeah." It's a small word, but it signals you're already halfway out of your conversation with them before you've even acknowledged what they said. So swap it for a direct reference to the actual thing they just told you. This one is a big one. I see it a lot because we're always on our phones, we're glued to our screens, and it's getting harder and harder to have in-person conversations. You look away because it's genuinely hard to hold someone's gaze these days, right? Perhaps you're just a shy person. Maybe it feels like keeping that eye contact is too intense, but here's what it signals to others. It signals that you're not worth their attention. Now, let me give you the psychology of what's actually happening underneath all of that. Eye contact is one of the oldest signals humans use to size up trust and confidence. It's not a modern social nicety. It's wired in. You see, when you keep looking away or avoiding eye contact with others, especially in a moment that matters, let's say a review, a hard conversation, a room full of people you want to impress, the people across from you don't experience your discomfort in the way that you do. They only experience your absence, and you looking across the room or not at them as you're speaking to them reads as you're not 100% there. It reads as she has something to hide or she doesn't actually believe what she's saying, even when the opposite is true. And this is the one that compounds the fastest because it shows up exactly when the stakes are highest. For example, the performance review, the negotiation, the moment you're being evaluated, which means the signal is doing the most damage precisely when you can least afford it. Now, people don't remember what you said in that meeting nearly as much as they remember whether you can look at them while you said it. Basically, can you confidently make eye contact and deliver a solid message? Now, with enough of these moments where you're not making solid eye contact, you become the woman who's technically brilliant but somehow never quite trusted in the room, and the reason is sitting right in your eyes, not your resume. Now, the fix here is not to stare at someone with so much intensity that it makes you look like a crazy person. It's just staying present with your eyes instead of retreating, holding the gaze a beat longer than feels comfortable, especially in the exact moments you most want to look away. Now, if you find yourself doing one or all of these things, just know that it could be undermining any positive intentions that you had during those conversations. And the thing about people is that they're not going to go out of their way to correct an initial estimation of you. Once they've formed an opinion based on any of those cues, they just quietly stop trying, and that opinion of you is already set in stone. Now, if any of this is resonating with you so far, I want you to know something is coming up soon. If you're new to the Duchess Academy or you've been here from day one, we just went through a rebrand. And to celebrate it, I'm going live for the first time in 5 months to teach a masterclass called The Signal Shift. It costs you nothing but your name to be there. So what I want you to do is comment signal down below and I'll send you the link directly. Now, the idea of human beings forming quick snap judgments of you for ill or for good has actually been studied. Under something researchers call thin slicing, the idea that people can form accurate judgments about someone based on a very small window of information, sometimes just a few seconds without ever needing the full picture. Now, here is a study that proves it. Researchers showed students a few seconds of silent video of teachers they'd never met. No sound, no context. Just a few seconds of them moving and interacting. The students rated how effective they thought each teacher was based on nothing but that. Now, months later, these students finished an entire semester with those same teachers and rated them too. And here's the finding. The teachers the strangers guessed were cold from 3 seconds of silent video, where the same teachers the students rated poorly after 15 weeks of actually knowing them. The 3-second guess and the semester of lived experience landed on the exact same verdict. Now, whether or not that's fair is a whole nother conversation that we need to have, but a few seconds of signal predicted an entire semester of lived real experience. That's how much weight your signal carries before your character ever gets a chance to prove itself, which is exactly why leaving it to chance is the most expensive thing you can do. So again, none of this makes you a bad person, but it is costing you. It's costing you the job you didn't get, the friend group that stopped inviting you places, the connection that went nowhere. People don't tell you that they think you're cold or rude or awkward. They just quietly stop trying. Now, these 3 social cues are just the beginning. There are many others running the exact same way in the background quietly, helping people decide things about you before you've even said a word. Now, I'm teaching the entire framework called the Signal Shift. I'm not sure if I'll be able to put the link in the description. If not, you can comment signal down below and I'll send you the invitation. And if this video felt like it named something you've never had words for, that training is going to change how you walk into every room and stack the deck in your favor. Now, if this helped, we'd love if you joined our YouTube family and subscribed and liked the video. Look, life is a chessboard. Wishing and hoping that someone's going to see your intentions and see how brilliant you are and promote you and love you and invite you and all of these things is just wishing upon a star. Real winning, stacking the deck in your favor and crushing your competition, takes strategy. Strategic signaling is the leverage you need to win in any room that you enter. I mean, wouldn't you like to stop living life on hard mode? I'll see you in the next one.